don't know. What do you look
Twitch.
like? Is he ugly?
Well, you said Twitch being pretty harsh.
Maybe she's
It's not that Twitch is being harsh.
Genetic disaster.
Basically, it's the mob.
Don't make this nigga feel bad.
But it's like Twitch is. It's like the mob of people is fucking up the lifestyle of what free speech is. It's like, how you gonna dictate what words you can say in real life? You get what I'm saying? That's what's kind of interesting, like, going on in today's world, which is like it's just a mob mentality. It's like everybody's fake mad, everybody's fake outraged, everybody want to just jump on anything that's being like the N word. Like everybody gets, they're like, like it's like I'm like they came further than that. You get what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Like it's like the mob. It's a mob mentality, man. It's like that's why like most streamers don't even talk. They don't even want to talk, and the most people who stream that usually has the most freeway is women. Like any guy who articulates what he thinks will get demonized really fast. But if a bitch does it, it's like, oh, it's just playing around. It's like it's sad, and it's sad to see that a strong company like Amazon, like, cause that's who Twitch is under, it's like a subsidiary, is crumbling down to a level where it's like you can't even speak your mind. You gotta speak nothing that means nothing, that says nothing, and it diminishes like what thought is. Because it's like if you expose like any real individual thought, they don't want you to have individual thought. They want to have like a hive mind. They're like, they basically tell you how to think, which is wrong. In reality, they shouldn't tell you how to think or be threatened how to think. And that's what, like, in my opinion, that's what's truly messing it up.
What's the hint you drop?
And you know what's even sadder is that the individual, like, pretend people in chat, the people in chat, quote unquote, have the most power because they can literally one person, if they catch you doing something, they can ban you, which is even the saddest thing. One person, like, even in League of Legends, you need at least 4 out of 5 of your teammates to like report you before you can get banned. And on Twitch, one person can fuck you over and just get rid of your whole lifestyle. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of people make some money. Like me, I barely make money on here. It's like, it's if people subscribe and if people donate. But you can lose a lot just by quote unquote saying the wrong thing. And it's sad, man. It is truly, it's depressing.
You release that energy onto your fucking,
because nobody, like, corporate don't care about you. They really don't.
Here's what you do. You say, look, I think, because you want to get out the shit anyway. So you just go up to her and you go, look, there's a problem. I have to get out of this. I'm going to tell you why. She's going to go, why? Because I want to fuck your daughter. And she will give
it's like,
you the
and the sad thing is, like, what brings in viewers, like, the main thing that brings in viewers is, like, familiarity. You get what I'm saying? Like, if people, like, if you don't, like, if you, how would you say it? How would you say it?
She's not gonna, the grandmother's not gonna think you're a good guy.
Like, pretend if you don't like something, people tend to, like, move away because they're, like, it's like if you, like, this negativity or whatever they want to call it, it's
tell
I
her
don't.
why.
It's
and you
pathetic,
leave.
man.
You
In my
call
opinion,
your daughter is, and she's not my
brand
daughter. You
like
make sure
Twitch
you let her know you're not no goddamn
should allow
or
free
as Japanese
speech,
says,
like the whole
pederast.
thing.
Oh, a pederast.
Wait, listen to this, dude. Before you go,
You get what I'm saying? Because
Everybody
mob,
listen to
like,
the explanation
if
of
you
it.
gang up on somebody and mob
Gasoline-
mentality somebody, that's you
gasoline
hating on
has
somebody.
introduced
That's
a new word to my life. It's called
it's sad, man.
All
It's
right, I don't know if
it's,
there's a lot of
it's
people out
truly
there,
sad.
explain the difference between a pedophile
That's why
and
most of the
pederast.
streamers.
Thanks for calling, dude. Thanks for calling in.
That's why, like, honestly, that's why most of the streamers, they just they just give a feeling, but there's no true thought behind the feeling. They're just feeling how they feel.
Is what?
Is someone who wants to have sex with people that are before puberty.
And
It's
like
a
that's
That's a pederast.
it's
Now, what's a
4-year-old,
pedophile?
6-year-old.
it's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. Before they have secondary
'Cause it's like-
sexual characteristics.
Like the free speech thing.
That's a pedophile.
If you made,
Now,
What's a
that?
pedophile?
if you've done wrong in your life
You know,
and you try to dictate
That's
others
That's reverse then.
No, I think pedophile is.
into
Yeah,
doing that,
pedophile is a
it-
child. Pederast is a guy who wants to fuck a girl who's
it's
underage,
fucked
but
up.
she's not teens and
Because
ass.
like, how can you
She's
dictate if you did wrong?
Yeah,
That means like
they're
you
all
shouldn't.
called
You
pedophiles.
it shouldn't go with it. Like you shouldn't be able to like
fucking- Oh,
Okay,
pederast is
alright.
like
worse than a
fuck
pedophile.
nobody else over
Yeah,
if
but
you've
a
done
pedophile-
wrong.
If that's a really
You
fucked
get what I'm
up
saying?
pedophile.
Before you have,
Like condemn.
Oscar winner for pedophile.
Like you shouldn't condemn somebody if you did wrong. Like you allow things because you've done worse. You get what I'm saying? Like that's truly what it is. If you allow certain things, that means you've done a lot worse. And when it gets to a point, people be like, "Oh no. You see now this is where the line is drawn." It's like, nah.
exactly. And
It's
they
like,
don't
how can you know where a line
differentiate
is
male.
until it affects you?
There's not much difference.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's truly where it gets weird. People want to dictate all these rules and things until it affects them.
Probably right. There are
Yeah.
some differences though.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay, we got a woman calling. Thank God. Hi, Tina in Kentucky.
And I find that real interesting.
Hello?
Tina,
Hi.
yes, Tina. Hi, welcome to the Black Phillip
how
Show.
are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go
Yes.
ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Okay. I got a question.
Go ahead.
Me and my husband have been together for 18 years, and how can I make our relationship more interesting
On what level?
on a sexual level?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
That's
have to be
that's
more.
exactly
Let me
what
tell you you
that's
don't
exactly
like
what it is.
in your voice. You
I
are
should be able to say what I want to say, and you should be able to say what you want to say without no repercussions. Because
I'm 30.
you know what's crazy as hell? In the Constitution, like this is the Constitution right here, quote unquote, like of the United States, and Constitution is just the life. So it's basically like the life of the United States. And it's crazy as shit. Cause I'm gonna read it to you. I'm gonna read it to you.
Here's what you do. Stop listening to motherfucking shows that tell you to get a makeover. We don't give a fuck about your new dress, your new.
It's in the Declaration of Independence. Like
and fuck
like
God.
here's the Declaration of
When
Independence right
motherfucker
here.
comes in from work, don't have your new nightie plain
Like
some
here, like
goofy
you see how it
slow
says the
with
Declaration of
candles
Independence?
and a meal that he wouldn't eat anyway.
It says
He's gonna
this.
walk in and go, oh
Like
my
I'm
God,
gonna pause this shit right here. Like peep this, right? It says, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. And then we hold these truths to be self-evident and a lot of yada yada. But basically it's saying a decent respect to the opinions of mankind, which is basically that you should guard like the thoughts that you have, and you would speak to one another, which causes you to separate. That means we should speak about what is separating us. Because it says dissolve the political bans. So we need to speak freely to get rid of all this bullshit that we trying to like keep us separated. We need to talk about it. But if you get rid of free speech, which is basically saying how I feel and what you feel, is gonna cause separation regardless, because we truly can't speak how we feel. Like the whole thing about like people being like, oh, you know, can I be honest with you? That's a fucked up statement, in my opinion. Because why should I have to preface my speech with can I be honest versus just coming out honestly what I want to talk about? You get what I'm saying? And it's the Constitution. Like I was given this like at college, and it was crazy. Exactly. Exactly. You know what you're talking about. That's exactly. 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 It's true. It is true. And you know it truly gets fucked up where in the household, you get what I'm saying, you're taught, how would you say, it's not lessons, it's you're taught how to live. You get what I'm saying, how to live correctly. That's what I'm saying, cuz I'm like, when in the world did sticks and stones may break my bones but words will never hurt me? You get what I'm saying? Because now that like in school they took bullying out, because bullying in real life was to show you what the real world is, because people will come up and fight you. But if you take the physical out, all there is now is words. So if you let words hurt you, then basically you gonna get run over. You gonna let words hurt you? Like they sting, but they don't kill you. They don't. You get what I'm saying? They don't. They're not supposed to penetrate your soul and bring it down to the point where you want to kill yourself. I don't think words are that strong. Because the biggest disarmament is be like the biggest thing is, like, it's cool as shit. Is like, pretend if somebody said you're ugly and you'd be like, so, and like you just disarm it. Like your brain would know how to disarm it. Like if it, like the truth is the truth. Like you can't negate the truth because it is what it is. And if they don't hire, It's true. It's like pretend like in the 1920s. You get what I'm saying? Like if you were gay in the 90s, like not the 90s, the 1920s. If you were gay in the 20s, you was a motherfucking soldier. You was a gangster. Like you you was badass. Nah, you good, dog. It's passion. Like this is just passion talking. It's not spam. Like you got, cause it's touching your soul. How mad it's getting you. It's real. I can feel it. Cause I'm telling you, if the, cause it's true, if the roles were reversed, I'm telling you, man, there's gonna be a time where we could just get fed up. There's truly a time where it's like we don't give a fuck no more about that bullshit. But like the main thing that I'm thinking, like this is like to go like into like bigger thinking, is like I don't know if you ever seen Star Trek. And you seen like the one like the newer one. And basically like you know the Starfleet, and you had aliens, you had the blacks, the whites, you had like everybody there. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm thinking that they're really trying to do is that sooner or later, like the integration of everybody and us seeing it, like the people who like we're living it. You get what I'm saying? The fact that we're living it, we're getting mad at it. But I'm assuming like that these people in like the law, like the courts and shit, they're trying to see it as like in the future, this is what's gonna be, and the newer generations are gonna have no idea unless it's presented to them. So the newer kids are not gonna know, and it's crazy. Like the like I think they're really trying to like they're telling us something, and they're not letting us know the whole thing. It's truly sad. And Jordan Peterson, I mean, I heard of him, but I don't really watch too much of his like work. I know he's good, but you can like every time I watch him, he wants to yell at somebody so bad. Because every time I hear him talk, he's like, I can just hear him be like, man, just shut the fuck, hey, man up and like go do something. Like it's crazy. I can, every time I look at him, he wants to yell at somebody. He'd be like, I don't give a like you could tell.
Is it sensitive to offence such a problem though? Like we would have previously called that manners.
It's a terrible problem. So imagine you, okay, so the rule is you can't offend anyone, all right? Let's say you're speaking to one person, I can't offend you. All right, fair enough. What if I'm speaking to 10 people? Do I get to offend 1 in 10? How about 1 in 100? How about 1 in 1,000? You're gonna come out on stage and you're gonna say something important about something vital, and you're not going to offend 1 person in 1,000? Well, you can't say anything about anything important ever without offending probably the person you're talking to. Important speech about important issues, especially contentious issues, is instantly offensive.
But there are ways that you can share, I guess, provocative views where you attempt to still do that with an air of, say, respectfulness, where you're trying to mitigate against the offensiveness.
This is true. Yeah, you can actually try listening when you're having a conversation, right? Assuming that both people who are having the conversation are of goodwill, and they're not trying to play tricks, and they're struggling towards the truth, which neither of them hold completely, and both understand that. Yeah, you can reach across fairly large gaps and negotiate peace. Thank God for that, or we'd be at each other's throats all the time.
Well, say the example of there are some transgender people who want to not be referred to as he or she. They prefer to be called Z or they. Mm-hmm. If somebody wants to be addressed like that, what does it cost me to do that?
It's hard to tell because the devil's always in the details, but as far as I'm concerned, that situation is, it's not relevant to the issues, for example, that I was involved in. I didn't care if transgender people wanted to be called by some pronouns, like whatever. That's something for individuals to negotiate. When the government makes that a compulsion and insists in their legislation that biological
That's when it fucks us up, yeah.
Gender identity, gender expression, and sexual proclivity vary independently, it's like, no, they don't. That's wrong factually, and you're not going to compel my speech. I don't care what your damn justification is.
So you see that as, am I right in that you see that as a curtailing of freedom?
It's worse than a curtailing of freedom. It's a demand that the
You're
population
forcing me,
uses
yeah.
a certain kind of linguistic
This is some alien shit,
It's
like,
a-
this is...
appropriation of speech. There's
Yeah.
no excuse for that. That never has happened once in the history of English common law, right? It's a barrier that we do not cross. Hate speech laws are bad enough. It's not like there's no hate speech. Like anyone with any sense knows that there's hate speech. Who's going to regulate it? Who's going to define it? And I know the answer to that. The last people in the world you would want to. And then we cross another barrier and we allow the government to compel speech for some hypothetically compassionate reason? No way. That's a really bad idea.
That's true. That's 100,000, 100 trillion.
Now, let's see if we can work a...
Oh yeah, I got a good snippet.
You're on the wrong bit, mate.
I don't even know
And then
who
we have
this is.
political correctness, which is the joy that is the other side of health and safety, which is health and safety, which is the small oppression of our physical movement, so we can't do anything without permission from the state. And political correctness, the oppression of our intellectual movement, so no one says anything anymore in case somebody else gets offended. What happens if you say that and someone gets offended?
Because nobody
Well,
believes
they
in
can
that
be
shit.
offended.
That's fake.
What's wrong with being offended? When did sticks and stones made break my bones stop being relevant?
I said the
Is
same
that what
thing.
you teach children, for God's sake? That's what you teach toddlers. He called me an idiot. Don't worry about him. He's a dick. Now you have adults going, I was offended, and I have rights. Well, so what? Be offended. Nothing happens. You're an adult. Grow up. Deal with it. I was offended. I don't care. Nothing happens when you're offended. There's nothing. I went to the comedy show, and the comedian said something about the Lord, and I was offended. And when I woke up in the morning, I had leprosy.
Right.
Nothing happens. I want to live in democracy, but I never want to be offended again. Well, you're an idiot. How do you make a law about offending people? How do you make it an offence to offend people? Being offended is subjective. That has everything to do with you as an individual, or a collective, or a group, or a society, or a community, your moral conditioning, your religious beliefs. What offends me may not offend you. And you want to make laws about this? I'm offended when I see boy bands, for God's sake. It's a valid offence. I'm offended. They're corporate shills posing as musicians to further a modelling career, and frankly, I'm disgusted. Right? But what am I going to do? Call the cops? Hello, it's me again. They're on the telly this time. 5 of them, that's it. Yeah, white suits dancing like girls, that's them. 5 minutes, I'll be out the front traumatised. Bye. And now we can't smoke anywhere either. No smoking. No. For our health. No, it's not. It's for control. No smoking. Can we still buy cigarettes? Of course. Where can we smoke them? Nowhere. You can smoke them in the woods under a blanket with a torch. Unless it's raining, then health and safety regulations do stipulate that. If you think it's about health, it's not. It's about control. And there's an easy way to understand this, because the Irish were the first to stop smoking in pubs. Now, who saw that coming? Not the Irish. I'd love to have been there the day they told them. What? It's us. Where first? Come on, no. In pubs. But we live in pubs. I tried to give them up. I tried to give up cigarettes. I bought a book on addiction. It said apparently in this book, if you're addicted to something, when you give it up, you replace it with something else. Like a hobby. So I did a pottery course. Yeah, first day, everyone made ashtrays.
Alright,
It's a crap plan, you know, and very embarrassing after sex as well.